We'll talk about that later, but I'm a huge fan. But what did happen to me when I was a kid is this woman came into the Continental Club in Austin, and she said, "I'll never get you on the radio because you're too weird, but I think I can get you on TV." And I was like, okay. So I go to Nashville, and they put me on the only national country music television show, and it's super cheesy, right? It's like higher the hair, the closer to God, you know? Like it was like 1 inch below the Christian Broadcasting Network. Real square. And I'm a free thinker from Austin, you know? So anyway, I'm like, well, at least my parents will see me on this, you know, they won't worry about me. And so right before I'm fixing to go out, this woman comes back and goes, "Chris Christopherson's going to be on the show tonight, and he wants to meet you." And I thought to myself, well, this shit just got a whole lot cooler. So Christopherson comes back, your typical, absolutely stunning, leading man movie star. And he said, "Hey, after the show, let's hang out." And I was like, great. So I never met really anybody famous except Rockin' Dopsy and some Zydeco guys to this point. And so we get in the back of this town car and we start talking about books. He's impressed that I read a few books. He said, "Yeah, my parents are the only people in my hometown that had a subscription to the New York Times. And I read James Joyce and Bukowski and some Russian writers and some Latino surrealists." And he was, you know, Chris went to Oxford and we smoked a bunch of weed. And it was fucking awesome. So I go back to this real crappy hotel where I'm staying because I can't afford to stay where all the country stars are staying. And the next morning my phone rings and this voice says, "Hey, I also saw you on TV last night. I was watching Chris. Why don't you come over and pick some guitar for me in the studio today?" And I said, "Who is this?" He said, "It's Waylon Jennings." I looked at the phone, I was like, none of my friends are smart enough to pull this shit off. So I drove over to this place, Woodland Studios, had to find the address, no GPS, no phones, mapping it, man. And the whole shit, that's when the whole shit started. Then I got the gig with Waylon, and I played on his record, and then I played with Johnny Cash, and then I played with Glenn Campbell, and Ray Price, and Willie Nelson, and Chris Christopherson, and the line. It just goes on and on. And it wasn't because I was a great guitar player, it's because I could keep my mouth shut and do an impeccable impression of Jerry Reed on the guitar. So that kind of started all this, but I'm gonna do a song, it's Johnny Cash's favorite song of all time that he used to love to do, and I just feel like doing it because we're in a bar and we can get away with murder in here. Well, on this old rock bound with a ball and chain. They call me my number This guy had been reading my rants online, and he calls me up and he says, "Hey man, I think you should write a book." And the first thing I said was, "Is there any money in writing books?" Sounds like a lot of work. He said, "Yes, there is." He was with a legitimate publishing house called Heshef Book Publishing. And he had done a bunch of other musicians. So I just wrote this book. And it's all my behind the scenes shit of everybody I ever played with. And it's pretty damn good. And we sold out of them. And we're on the second run in America. So keep your fingers crossed. It happens that we just have them for sale here tonight. What a coincidence. With my old judge, look down at me. He said, "I'll put you in the penitentiary, son. I just gotta do my time. Oh, I'm gonna do my time. It's been hard." While I've done my time.